All elites know why they're there. They know why they're there. They are not accidentally anywhere. This became clear to me when I went through the SEAL training program. When I remember I left the NFL and I went to SEAL training, and it was buds, and we had 250 guys, and they were like, I want to be a SEAL, I want to be a SEAL. And at the end of it, man, there's just 12 of us left. 250 guys that want to show us. In all of our schools, all of our warfares, there's an attrition process. We see the talkers go away. Everything we've done, everybody in this room, y'all know this. People say, people do, and the people that do typically make it through. And I think about that number all the time because when I was one of those 12 that made it, I remember, I wasn't thinking about it too much at the time. But now I have these men that I lead in this, my wife and my children, and this community that I'm trying to impact. And so I've gone back and I'm trying to figure out how I made it because I've just kind of had this Forrest Gumpian kind of life, man. I just put my head down and I try, and I'm like, I'm at the Naval Academy. This place is really hard. And I put my head down and I try, and I'm married and she's hot, and that's great because I'm not. And I put my head down and I'm in the SEAL teams, but now I'm slowing down. I'm like, man, how did I do that? And I figured it out. And there's 2 reasons I made it through training. And this will probably resonate with y'all because y'all have all made it through something too. The 2 reasons I made it through buds is this. 1, I was lucky. Luck doesn't take anything away from it. And listen, I know luck is the marriage of hard work and circumstance and opportunity. It is. It's also luck. I was born a certain place. I was led a certain way. I was getting certain opportunities. I didn't get hurt. I was lucky. Like I said, that doesn't cheapen it. It just makes me want to be lucky again. I want to be lucky again. I want to figure out how I got lucky and never see that advantage. I want to stay humble and look for the luck. And I'll earn it. If I know I'm not entitled, I was lucky. And the second reason I made it was this. I never ever forgot why I was there. See, when God knitted our brains together, we can only ask ourselves one question at one time. And when you're doing hard stuff, you can either go, man, what am I doing? What am I doing? Or you can go, hey, why did I start doing this? And if you can stay connected to the why you started doing this, you got a chance. If you don't, the what's are going to take you down. Because the what's are the many. They're the little adversity points. They're the things that other people aren't willing to do. And the what's will take you unless you have a why. If you got a why, you got a chance. So for me, buds wasn't a big deal, man. I didn't care what I had to do. I knew how I was there. I walk in the morning like, you're going to run 8 miles a day. And I'm like, I'm sorry. I think you said 8 miles because I'll give you guys a chance to figure this out. Like, I'm not a runner. I'm not a gazelle. I know you guys are looking at me like, that dude can run for days. It's not true. I can't. I can run downhill for a long time, but I can't. Are there any marathon runners in here? Don't raise your hand because I'm about to make fun of you, okay? Because here's the deal. Don't run marathons. History would tell us this. You know why we call it that, right? Battle of Marathon. Greek dude won. He ran 26.2 miles. You look at the king. He's like, we won. You know what he did then? He died. I don't think we need to model that kind of behavior. I think it's irresponsible. I think it's foolish. Get a horse, ride, but get a Segway. Just 26.2 miles. Just lean forward on a Segway. I'm not running. All right. So what I got to do, because I know why I'm here. So what I got to do, because I know why I'm here. Next morning, you're going to swim. How far? 5 miles. Where? In the ocean. Well, there's sharks in the ocean. Yeah? Well, if you're a shark, who do you eat? Me or the dude over there likes running marathons? You eat that guy's like feeding a bear lettuce. You didn't fill him up. Bear's like, I'm hungry. I'm hungry now. You eat me, you're done. Go to sleep. I'm fine. All right. So what I got to do, because I know why I'm here. Folks, one of the most important things you can do right now is determine what your why is, your mission, your commander's intent. Why are you here? Why are you going to where you're going next? And I'll make this even easier for you. I believe everybody has to have 2 whys. You have to have a high why and you have to have a big why. And your high why is why you exist. It's what they say about you when you're gone. The stats on death are pretty convincing. 1 of 1. We're all going to eat it. The story's the difference. That's it. And that's your high why. The difference you made while you were here. And your big why is why you do what you do. That's what's changing for many of you right now. Why do you deploy your time, your treasure, and your talent the way that you do? That's your big why. And you got to have both. And I'll share with you my whys for a couple reasons. One, because I want you to know what I'm saying. I want you to understand what I'm talking about. And 2, because I have this habit of painting myself into the corner of the man I say I want to be. When you publish your plan to the right people, you know what they'll do if you deviate? They'll call you on it. They'll check you on it. Tell the E3 the kind of officer you want to be. And then change. You think he's not going to say something? She's not going to say something? It's the beauty of our system, is accountability. You know, they asked me last week during the verdict with Chris. Kyle was a great friend of mine, and I miss him a lot. You all would have loved him. He's fantastic, just like everybody else that we all know. You know, they asked me about it, and I said, listen, it doesn't bring Chris back, but I'm glad that Ralph got convicted. I'm glad that PTSD did not. PTSD doesn't make you do that. You know, I have TBI, I have PTSD. All the cool kids do. I'm glad the coward's going to pay. And my why is everything. And I'll share my why with you because I'll run into you again. I promise you. There's guys in this audience that I've seen before. And if I'm off course, if I'm not on my why, you're going to call me on it, and I need you to. So my high why is this. I've mentioned them earlier. I got 3 little girls. Maddie Grace, Lily Claire, Sutton Rose. Maddie was born while I was overseas. I came home with this little 7-month-old girl, and she changed my life like that. 3 little girls, and all I want to be is the kind of man I want my girls to marry someday. What I do, who I do it for, who I do it with. If my girls come home with a man like me, I better be okay with it, because that's what I showed them. And that man's going to be purposeful, passionate, protective, and a provider. And if he's not, I'm not going to have to scare him away. So my girls aren't going to want him. And if he is, I'm still going to scare him away, man. It's my girls. I got a pit in the backyard. It's like 2 man enter, 1 man leave. Let's figure this out, stud. If you die, you can't date her. If we fight it out, we'll talk about it. And if you beat me up, I mean, what am I going to do, you know? I just want to be a man worth my girls. And my big why? My big why is why I'm here today. Man, I do 2 things every day. I protect leaders, and I hire heroes. That's it. You know, I find the best leaders in America go, hey, what's going to come between you and being awesome? And let's take that out. You know, you are all leaders. And I'm here to protect you from being lesser versions of yourself. You think you're going to have to settle because you're out of uniform now? No, no, no. Now the hump starts. Find whatever it looks like now and hit that ridge line. Go. I don't want you to be a lesser version of yourself. So we're breaking ground and cutting path for the men and women getting out behind us. Now the race starts. And I get to create careers for veterans. It's the coolest thing ever. You know, this guy worked for me for 3 years. He fought in Iraq, fought in Afghanistan. He was a Marine. He ran the West Coast Dojo in McMap. And he came 3 days back from Afghanistan. He walks in my office. He's like, hey, sir, all I know how to do is fight. So I'm just going to work for you and maybe open my own dojo one day. I kind of looked at him and I was like, hey, man, here's the deal. You're a great fighter because you're a great thinker. And because you're a great thinker, you can do anything. But I'm not going to win that argument with you right now because you're just back and I'm kind of scared of you. Well, about a year ago, he got hired by JP Morgan. Got his degree in global business, 3.78, and he's getting his master's right now. It's the same guy who told me all he knew how to do was fight. Man, I sleep well with that. You know, I have my whys down cold. Because I have my whys down cold, the truth of the matter is this. I have many hard days, but no bad ones. I have many hard days, but no bad ones. And that's pretty good. It's a pretty good life.